Hello my lovelies, and welcome back to another video on Slackville SMP. Yes, we are here with another video. Now, if you've been watching this series for a while, then you probably are aware that I have multiple different projects going on all at once. I like to go back and forth between them so that I can keep the creative energy flowing and not get burnout on working on one specific thing. So usually when I go to my base, I like to work on something else for a little while. So I think I'm gonna do this video focusing on showing you some of the other lovely projects that I have been working on in the meantime. And one of those is the dye factory. Now, I think, let's go, the last time you saw it, we saw it from outside, so let me start by showing you that view again. Now, because of the way this was structured when we were first building it, we built it the redstone first, and the way that we did that kind of made it where it was a lot easier to figure out the interior before I did the exterior. That's not normally how I build, but in this case, I thought it worked a little bit better. So it's mostly the same on the outside. You can still see all the redstone. I will need to come up with a building for the outside, but I just got to working on the interior because I really wanted the space to feel usable, and I felt like I needed to figure that out before I figured out what I was going to put on the outside, because there were a few requests. Watchful wanted it so you could fly in, so I had to think about where that would be. I needed to think about how you're going to get to each level and actually make it so you could get to each level. So let me just give you a quick tour and I'll show you what I've done with the interior so far. It's not completely done, but we're getting there with it. So this spot right here is going to be one of the entrances. And we just start really simply. We've got access to all the chests. This is where the shulkers will come out with glass or wool respectively. You can put more shulkers in there. We have this area back here, which is just this little entry hall, kind of limited on space here. And back here is just where all the redstone is. This is how you get to the cocoa bean farm. The cactus farm also was changed a bit from the last way you saw it. So now it works in a slightly different way, but it gets more flowers this way, so I can't complain at all. And I decided to do a mix of water elevators and stairs. Now this water elevator goes 2 floors up, so we're going to start with the stairs, which I actually just did today. And you come up here into this room. This is where you can see the crafters and how they're going and crafting up the items. Although, whoopsies. Pressed a lever. I don't know why that's there. We'll have to... Okay, that's messed up. Well, we'll figure that out later. Anyways, continuing on, this just goes up to the next floor, but we also have a staircase and a little way to get down. There's powdered snow under the carpet there, so we don't take fall damage. Just a little quick way to get up to this level, and this is where you put in your dye up here. And then there's a spot up above where you put in glass or wool. This is a little viewing area. I know Watchful said he liked that as an AFK area, and I think it's rather cute for that. So I just kind of went crazy with the decorations in here. I started by laying it out with walls of the dark oak. And then I just filled everything in pretty much. I didn't have a lot of ceiling space, so I kind of had to go kind of low with it. But I like the way it's turned out. The dark prismarine and the copper look so good together. And it's really coming out very nicely. Now this is where you get all your dyes. So I had to come up with a design for each of these little modules. And this is where you can get your dyes to put into the glass wool craftificator. That sounds like something Tango would say. But yeah, we've got all our things here. These are all pretty similar to each other. These ones are a little bit different because, well, the modules for these are a bit different. It's also where one of the entrances will be, so the idea is that you can just fly in here really easily and get to everything you need to really quickly. But we have this water elevator right here. Will take you up to the next level. This is where all the flowers are. And so there are chests, always a single chest full of flowers. Really simple decoration for this area. I did not have much space to work with. This is where you'll put in glass or wool. I haven't gotten this room decorated yet. That will be soon. And then finally, these are just little maintenance exits, get you to the redstone in case anything were to ever go wrong and we needed to check on that. And then this is where the farms are up here. I'm still working on this area too. I might need to wait until I get some of the outside done to be able to figure this area out. But yeah, this is how it is so far. This also is a little bit shortcut to further down, which we'll go down now. And yeah, I love how this place is coming along. It is so awesome. And I know it's been a bit of a lengthy tour, and it's been a lot. But it was really important to me that I show off some of this stuff so you can see my process of how I'm working on some of these other projects that you don't get to see in every video, that I can't finish in one video span of time. And so I just kind of work on them and chip away at them every so often. And I hope to update you guys as I do that. Because I want to keep you guys in the process as much as I can, even though I am just having fun sometimes and playing and getting stuff done on my own time too. As I'm heading back to my base, I realize there's something that I haven't actually shown off yet in any of my videos, and it's really, really important because I've spoken about this group of people that I've joined with. They need a group name, by the way, and I don't know what it needs to be, but they need a group name. So if you're hearing this, think on it, because y'all need one, because y'all are amazing. Okay, but basically, Watchful Spirit is an amazing builder, and I think I've mentioned that before, but he built something so crazy incredible that, like, when I first saw it, my mind was blown. My jaw was dropped when I first joined Slackville, and he toured me around and showed me this. This is just for the nether portal, this entire build. Yeah, he built this entire thing, and if it looks familiar, that's because it's from a game. It's from a very popular game. A game that I love so much with all of my heart. It's from Breath of the Wild. Well, Tears of the Kingdom technically, but The Legend of Zelda. This is the Temple of Time from The Legend of Zelda, and Watchful Spirit built it in survival. Got all the materials just for the nether portal. It's absolutely insane. This is a masterpiece of a build. Give me just 1 second, I'll get some more rockets and I'll show you the full thing. I really thought it was important to show this off in full and give it the time that it deserves, because it deserves it. Watchful deserves it. This is a gigantic build. The details, oh my gosh, the details are crazy. Look at the top. He did the top. Who flies up this high? Who's ever gonna see this? I don't know, but it's, oh my gosh. Every little detail of this is just so amazing and blows my mind, and it should blow yours too. The scale of this is just absolutely massive. It's awesome. He's such a talented builder, and he has such an amazing mind, such amazing creativity that, like, even I hope that I could get this level of, like, doing this big of a build and, like, getting all these details right is, like, crazy to me. And he did it, and it still amazes me to this day. This is probably one of my favorite builds that I've ever seen in Minecraft, and I actually get to meet the person who did the build and play on the same server as him and talk to him, and it's just kind of amazing because you see big builds like this on, like, you know, Hermitcraft and stuff. Like, I don't want to be comparing, right, but, like, this is just as monumental of a feat as I feel like the kinds of builds and mega builds that they accomplish, and he really deserves the recognition for it. So I really just wanted to show it off. But this is my video, and we have some more things to get to, so I think it's time we head back to my base. We're here because it's time to add another person to our appreciation garden, and for this one, I'm choosing Xenosaga 8436. I want to thank this person because they have been leaving a lot of comments underneath my videos, sweet little messages with fun ideas for me to do for future videos, and I just want you to know that I appreciate you. I appreciate your comments so much. It really makes my day. Every comment that I see really lets me know that people are watching what I'm putting out and enjoying it. And yeah, so thank you so much, and you are getting a place on the sign. We also have Zitos, who is a friend of mine that I've had for a while. He's shown up to a lot of my streams in the past, and I try to show up to his when I can. And Mike the Maniac was added. He has also been showing up to a lot of my streams lately. He's a really good builder and a really cool streamer as well, so definitely check him out, as well as all the other people who I've already added. Now, I'm here in an iceberg biome because I need to mine a lot of ice. I've got a conduit power here, and this makes it really easy to just go here. You just get the instant mine, and it's a lot more peaceful than mining ice above ground where you have mobs spawning, you know, no sleeping on the server. You get a lot of night, so this is really the most efficient way to mine ice. And why am I mining a bunch of ice, you ask? And getting attacked by tridents in the process, which is really annoying, I might add. That's because I decided what shop I want to do next. So I had this idea actually about as soon as I did the leaf shop, that I wanted to do an ice shop on the server, and I finally had a stroke of inspiration, and I decided what I wanted to build for the shop. And we need a lot of ice for that, and a lot of ice to stock the shop, so we're gonna have to be here mining and collecting ice underwater for a while, I think. But I think the shop is gonna look really cool. Getting all that ice was not a fun task, so in between going and gathering some of that, I've been working on this trial chamber me and Mammoth have been converting into a key farm. This railway tunnel of mammoths. This beautiful librarian trading hall. I'm building a couple of viewer houses. I've come to the shopping district and I've picked a place for the ice shop. I'm going to build it right there. It's a pretty fun design. As you can see when I turn around, my leaf shop is right there, so it's a pretty quick walk between them. The angel shop, the elytra shop is just a little bit behind that. And yeah, I've gotten all the things I need, including all of the ice that I will need to stock the shop, blue ice, packed ice, and the regular ice. I've got all of that in shulkers, but these are the materials we are going to need for this shop. And yeah, I think pretty soon we are going to have to start building it and get this next shop done. I'm excited. As you can see, and as you can see from that montage, the build is done. This is my ice shop, and I'm really happy with how it turned out. So I had the idea of, I was between doing like a little mini version of Elsa's castle or like an icy tree, and I decided on icy tree. Just wanted something simple for the shop, so I'm calling it Enchanted Frost. I've got my flag there. I've put that by all my shops just to mark them as mine, I guess. I don't know. We've got this little area up here. It's safe, that's why I did a lot of glass and things. And then we're selling all the ice, powdered snow, all the goodies. The blue ice takes so long to get, but yeah, hopefully this shop will do well, and I'm really happy with how it turned out. It looks really good from a lot of angles. I picked this spot over here, as you can see. So it's just pretty easy walk. And there we go. So in the last episode, the one before the most recent one, I drained an entire ocean monument. And I said, I believe at the end of that I was preparing for a big build, but it was a lot of work, so I needed a break. But I think with this video being completed, I think it's time for that break to be over now. This is not going to be something, again, that's going to be completed next episode, but it's something that I'm going to be working on in the background of some other episodes, and I'll give you updates, because it's a very big build. It has a lot of materials, all very unique, and I think we should do the outline of the actual bottom of the build, so you can get an idea of just how big this thing is going to be. Done pretty quick with a little bit of help from Mammoth, who is still down here somewhere. We got the outline of this done. Now, this is already a pretty big outline, but it's gonna be even bigger because part of this is going to stretch out. Now, the best way to describe this, if you want kind of a hint on what it's gonna be like, is it's basically gonna be like a big flower. And it's really cool, and there's a lot of glass and a lot of ice and lots of all the things. But I'm gonna get started on building that, and I think it's gonna be awesome, and I'm so excited for when it actually gets done. It'll be awesome to show you guys. Alright, that's all that I have time for in this video, so of course we are gonna have to call it here. Thank you for watching, and goodbye!